Dear Kathy from Krakow, you asked for clarification. You said I'm enigmatic, and I know that's true. It's hard to understand what I'm saying exactly, because the information I wish to convey is enigmatic to me as well. It's fuzzy, uncertain, unclear. Through my efforts as a 9/11 conspiracy debunker, as I pointed out in the video that I asked you to watch, I became aware of a network which I believe is composed largely of non-U.S. citizens, This network seeks to secretly influence U.S. policy by injecting disinformation into the minds of unsuspecting Americans through an ongoing and persistent covert campaign working to achieve long-range goals. This network is actually a loose cooperative alliance of diverse groups with similar interests, but the leadership of this black network is composed of intellectuals with connections to governments and to academia, and only they have a clear picture of the actual structure and function of this semi-autonomous network. The leaders are well-trained and well-funded. They are experienced. They have been doing this for decades. This network doesn't just mess with the minds of kids on the internet. It messes with the minds of presidents. It affects the decisions made in the boardrooms of major corporations. It actually has the power to kill. It can elect a U.S. senator, or it can depose him. It has the power to choose tomorrow's headlines, and the only thing standing in the way of this monstrous network is the people of the United States. The United States before World War II was described as a sleeping giant, and only when roused could the United States defeat the Axis powers in World War II. Only after the people were aroused, or roused from slumber. And the people today are asleep, busy, distracted, pursuing their own personal interests, materialistic entertainment, family, job. Only a few are interested in political matters. Very few of these are aware of this network. I only discovered this network, as I said, because 3 boys made a video called Loose Change. I became aware of various conspiracies or theories, was able to easily and quickly see through them, but it was difficult to discover who was propagating these so-called theories. In my attempts to debunk each particular aspect of this collection of theories concerning the attacks on 9/11, I was able to see that there are a large number of people who are pushing these ideas, not sincerely believing the ideas, but pushing these off on the public. Because 99% of the people who responded to my videos attacked me personally. And they seem to almost have talking points. They seem to be like-minded. receiving information from a common source. This revealed to me that these large number of people who showed up to confront me and try to confuse me, actually, were working in concert. I didn't know who they were or where they were and all that, but I could see that they were like-minded and insincere. So I went from there. I've been looking for this network, and I'm of the opinion that they are Trotskyites or workers or socialist parties or workers of the world or whatever, the left. These leftists are cooperating with radical Muslims. So some of the people that showed up to slap me down for debunking their 9/11 theories, lies, were young Arabs who have been somewhat westernized because they are Arabs living in England or Australia or Canada, who on the internet, through a message, through a comment, can easily disguise their race, religion, background, ethnicity. You have no idea who you're talking to when you answer a comment on YouTube. And especially if this is a group of people who are willfully, purposefully, mindfully executing a hoax in a cooperative effort. It's a prank pulled on America by a large number of people all over the world. America is the victim of a prank. It's not anything to be laughed at because billions of dollars are spent as a result of this prank. Soldiers are killed with bombs as a result of this prank. Presidents resign from the United States presidency as a result of this prank.
Vladimir Putin dropped a political bombshell today, announcing his intention to move from being Russian president to prime minister. Putin is banned from seeking a third term as president in next year's election, and many observers say today's announcement show he's now found a way around that restriction, predicting that if elected prime minister, he would move to centralized power in his new position instead.
On Saturday, Putin and President Bush gave a joint news conference that highlighted their differences over Israel's actions in Lebanon, the state of Russian democracy, and Iraq. Here's an excerpt of that news conference.
President Bush, you said that you plan to raise in a respectful way your concerns about Russian democracy with President Putin. How did that conversation go? And I know you've already talked a lot about the U.S.-Russian relationship, but I'm wondering if both of you could elaborate on that and how the differences of opinion over the democracy issue are affecting the relationship.
I thought the discussion was a good discussion. It's not the first time that Vladimir and I discussed our governing philosophies. I have shared with him my desires for our country, and he shared with me his desires for his. And I talked about my desire to promote institutional change in parts of the world, like Iraq, where there's a free press and free religion, and I told him that a lot of people in our country, would hope that Russia would do the same thing. I fully understand, however, that there will be a Russian-style democracy.
We certainly would not want to have the same kind of democracy as they have in Iraq. I will tell you quite honestly.
I looked into Putin's eyes and I see three letters, a K, a G, and a B. He's an old KGB apparatchik surrounded by his buddies who are in the KGB, and he's not going to restore the power and prestige of the Soviet Union, but he is trying to restore the Russian Empire.